this poem, Catullus addresses his girlfriend's pet bird. So this is going to be vocative. And then this word delicii is an apposition to it. So it's referring back to it, renaming the bird. So the bird, the delight, and then these both are genitive of my girl. And then this next clause right here, I'm going to put all of this together, is a relative clause. And so we can tell because of these relative pronouns, qui cum, quem, and cui, that creates an anaphora where we have the same word essentially in the beginning of each clause. Likewise, because there are different forms of that, that's going to be called a polyptyton. And each of these pronouns refers back to the passer. So we'll go with whom. Then we have this infinitive, to play. We don't know what we need until we keep going. So we've got another infinitive here, and then another one here, and finally this fourth one here. And these are all dependent on this verb solet. So we have to translate solet before we can get to these four infinitives. So we have with whom, so the bird, with whom she, and that's going to be his girl, is accustomed, ludere, whom she is accustomed, tenere in sinu. Sinu is going to be her lap. And then this is a little bit tricky. So cui usually is to whom. But in this case, it's going to go all the way to appetenti, and it's going to mean to whose, approaching, she is accustomed to give, and then these two go together, and that's your direct object. And then here we have, this is our archaic adjective, third declension, so it's actually an es, which allows for these two to go together. Morsus is a fourth declension noun, so she is accustomed to incite acris morsus, that's our direct object. All right, then we have a little cum temporal clause. So there's no subjunctive, but that just means that cum is translated as when. So when, and then you're going to jump down here. Lubed is where we get both our subject and our verb. This is an impersonal verb, so it's translated as it. So when it is pleasing, we're going to put all of this together. This is our dative. So when it is pleasing to. And then this little piece is a little bit strange, a little more colloquial. And so literally it says, I don't know what dear thing. And so in the text, it tells you just to translate this nescio quid as something or other. Throw your dear in there, something dear or other. So when it is pleasing to my shining desire, jump to your infinitive, to joke, and then this becomes our direct, this whole clause is our direct object. That's when she plays with the bird. And then this first ut is translated as because our we don't even have a verb, so it can't be a subjunctive clause. So this is a diminutive, as a little consolation, and then these two go together. They're genitive of her pain. You could say for her pain, just to make it a little bit smoother. Then we have either a result or a purpose clause. I think purpose probably is going to be a little bit easier for you guys to translate. So we'll go credo, I believe. So why is she playing with the bird? I believe so that her gravis ardor, her heavy pain, then, or sadness, passion for this, may find relief. And then this last clause is kind of a conditional. This possem here is an imperfect subjunctive. We'll translate that as if only I were able. And then you go to ludere, to play, te cum. This te refers all the way back, draw a line here, fun, all the way back to your passer. So bringing us back to the bird. With you, just as ipsa, she is able to play with you. And continue with that, if only I were able to relieve, and this is another archaic form. So tristes, kuras, and then this is genitive. So there you go.